Is it? Hmm? It's right there. I was just getting one for you. Is it on? It's live? Okay. Are you coming? Until what? So go. All right. Good morning. Hi, Zach. I hope you're doing well. I heard you were working in the yard yesterday, planting flowers and weeding flower beds, I think your mom said. So those of you that are tuning in to this class that are not Zach, so this class is called Yoga for Zach, which is Kyle's brother-in-law that lives in, or my brother-in-law, Kyle's brother that lives in Ontario. But if you're tuning into this class and you are not Zach, just know that it's for anybody that wants a lighter practice, might be suitable for kids of all ages, and yeah, just anybody that wants a yoga class that's just a little bit more dialed down a little bit. So good morning to those of you that are tuning in today. We're going to get started on the mat. If you have a couch cushion or a blanket or even a sweatshirt or something that you might want to put on afterwards, just have those things handy around you and we'll get started. I think Kyle's going to join us this morning. He just went to find a yoga mat. All right, so we're going to begin with our legs crossed. And this is where a couch cushion might feel good for some people because you might want to sit up on it. A lot of times when we're sitting cross-legged, it can feel nice to have your hips a little bit higher than the bones of your legs and your knees. So you have just a little bit of a slope down. So you might want to take a moment to sit on something higher than the floor. And then once you've found a nice comfy position to sit on, close down your eyes. And something interesting happens when we close down our eyes when we're not sleeping. What happens is we start to notice that we're breathing. And then that's a reminder that we're alive. And what a special gift it is for us to be able to breathe and be alive today. So take some deep breaths. You can take them through your nose. We have two ways of breathing. We have one way to breathe through the nose, and the other way is to breathe through the mouth. Find your favorite way to breathe. Sometimes we think about the breath like an elevator. At the very bottom, it's like the people are getting into the elevator, the doors are opening. And as you breathe in through your nose or your mouth, you take the people all the way up to the top floor. Sometimes that's called the penthouse, the fancy suite at the very top of the building. And when you get to the very top floor, you have to pause just to let the people get out. So there's a little bit of a hesitation there. And then the doors close again, and then you breathe out through your nose or your mouth all the way back down to the basement, where there's people waiting to get back on your elevator. So just use your imagination, use your mind with your eyes closed a couple of more times. Take people up to the top floor. Wait to let them get off. And then let the elevator ride all the way back down to the bottom. Do one more like that. Big breath in. Pause at the top. And then let it go out all the way back down to the bottom. Good work. When you're ready, open up your eyes. Sometimes it can feel nice to flutter open up your eyes and let the light come back in slowly. So to get started this morning, we're going to move our spine. Do you remember where your spine is? Your spine is the king of the whole yoga practice. It's from the top of your head right down to where if you had a tail. Oh, hey, Kyle.
Hey, guys.
Good morning. You're going to do yoga with Zach?
Sure.
Nice. So your spine is from the very top of your head right down to the very bottom if you had a tail in your body. And so we want our spine to move, and it has the ability to move in 6 different ways. Actually 7. We'll talk about that one in a moment. But first we're going to move the spine 6 different ways. So the first 2 ways are, you're going to take your hands and hold on to your knees. And then you're going to come forward. You're going to use your hands to pull on your knees just a little bit so that your chest or your heart can come forward. And then you're going to keep your hands on your knees and you're going to roll back right onto if you had a tail, and then look down towards your tummy and then come back forward. You lift your chin a little bit when you come forward. And then you roll back, tuck your chin, look down. So in a little bit of time, we're going to do this a different way. Right now, we're doing it from seated, and we're moving the spine forward and back, kind of like a wave. If you've ever been to the beach, you see the waves come in, and the waves go out. Wish we could go to the beach today. It's been raining in Cochrane for, I think this is day 3. And our ditches are flooding, and the ground's having a hard time keeping up with all the water. Okay, one more time. Be like a watery wave, forward and back with your spine. And then you're going to come back to where we started, that nice tall elevator spine. Okay, so it doesn't matter which side you're doing, but one of your hands is going to touch your opposite knee. So from one side to the other side. And then this hand is going to be like a little spider, and it's going to go behind you. Sit really tall, lift your chest, and then turn to look to one side. This is another way we can turn our spine. Stay for a big breath in. And then on the exhale or the out breath, go all the way to switch sides. Other hand goes to opposite knee. Tent your fingers behind you like a little dome. Sit really tall. Lift your heart. And then see if you can turn your chin to look back behind you, like somebody's calling your name and you don't know who it is and you're looking to see. Good. Do one more of those on each side. A big breath in when you get there. A big breath out to switch sides. Does it feel good on your spine this morning, Kyle? Kyle and I just got up. We got down to the studio so speedy fast today. Okay, so that's 4 ways. We did this way, this way, this way, this way. Now we're going to do 2 more ways that we can move our spine that's really healthy. Take one hand and put it beside you like you're trying to high-five the floor. And then this other hand is going to come over like a rainbow over top of your head. So you're making a big rainbow shape with your arm over top of your head. Now keep all of that, keep doing that, and then turn to look up towards the ceiling. Or maybe you're lucky to be outside and you're looking up to a blue sky. This is one of my favorite ways to stretch my side body, my spine. Okay, we're going to make a big sweeping motion through the center and switch sides. Your other hand presses down, pretty firm press into the floor, and then make that big rainbow shape, that arc over top of your head. Turn to look up. Good work. Do that one more time, a little bit more swiftly. Arm up. Switch sides. Are you feeling creaky this morning, Kyle? Kyle feels creaky every day. All right, so that was 6 different ways to move the spine, and that's a good thing to do whenever you have time, is to just move your spine like that. Whenever you get a chance, right? Okay, we're going to do one more thing from seated, and then we're going to go on to all fours in a minute. We might have to separate a little bit. Take your arms out like you have the wings of a bird. Now take one of your arms and cross it over top of the other to make an X. Now, here's where the tricky part comes in. Can you take your fingers and touch your palm of your hand? So I'll do that again. Wings, X, fingertips touch your palm. This is a tricky bit. If you can't get your fingertips to touch your palm, that's okay. You can make butterfly wings. Or you could give yourself a hug. Okay? So take your hands in whatever shape works for you. If you have your hands like me, I want you to lift your arms up. If you have your hands like Kyle, I want you to gently pull down. Just gentle. And then tuck your chin. Yeah. But if you have your arms like me, pull your arms away from your face. Look to the backs of your arms, tuck your chin a little. Feels like your neck and the back is really long and tall. Stay for another big breath in. And then as you breathe out, let go of your arms wherever they were. Take a couple flaps here. Flap your arms. Okay, now try to remember which arm was on the top last time when you made the X and make it different this time. Cross your other arm. Fingertips to palm, or you give yourself a nice good morning hug. Say, I love me. Good job, me, doing yoga. So I'm lifting my arms up and pulling them away. Kyle's gently pulling down, and he can even tuck his chin a little bit. Are you okay, Kyle? Okay. Another breath in here. And then all the breath out here. Couple flaps of a bird. All right. And now we're going to go on all fours, okay? So this is a good spot where if you have a blanket or even just a sweater, anything works underneath your knees, because when we're on the knees for a while, sometimes that can bother our knees. But otherwise, if you're okay.
Zach's got a nice new yoga mat.
He does?
He's got a big mat, a big black straw.
What color is your mat, Zach? Is it black? Yeah? Well, we have the same mat then, because mine's yellow and Kyle has the same one in blue. All right. So when we come into this position, we want our fingers to be really, really wide apart. So you should be able to see the color black of your mat between each and every one of your fingers. I like to have my toes tucked like this, but you might like to have your feet flat like that. See what feels the best. Now, just make sure that your fingers are pushing down really firm into the mat. If I came along and lifted up one of Kyle's fingers, it should make a snap sound. Let's see if it does. Yeah, he's doing it good. So you can lift up one of your fingers, and if it snaps back, that's a good thing, okay? Keep that. Now we're going to do the cat-cows again. Remember we did that from seated. We're going to move our spine that same way, but our knees and shoulders are in a different shape. Are you okay, Kyle? So this is the wave pose again. So your spine's being like a watery wave. When you're in this dome shape, this is called cat pose, you look back and down. And when you're in cow pose, you look up and your heart sinks towards the floor. Do a couple more. A lot of times when I teach yoga at the studio, when I used to teach yoga at the studio, a lot of people would love this pose. It's a great warm-up pose. All right, come back to neutral. That means you're not doing the wave anymore and you're looking straight down to your hands. Now, we're going to take one hand and we're going to reach it forward like we're trying to shake someone's hand way across the room. Now, here comes the tricky bit. Can you lift your opposite leg? What? This is called bird dog pose. So take a big breath in and stretch your spine really long. And then as you breathe out, could you bring your elbow closer to your knee? Try that. This is a balancing pose. Keep going. Kyle's doing another one. And then you get really small. Keep pressing your fingertips down into the floor. We'll do a couple more here. One more time. Reach really, really long. And then set everything back down. Sit your bum onto your heels. Weave your fingers together. And then like your wrists are in a roller coaster. Roller coaster out your wrists. Do you like roller coasters, Kyle?
I do.
Does Zach like roller coasters?
So.
Does he? No, I don't either. Okay, now shake out your wrists like you have wet hands and you're trying to get all the water off. Good. Okay, we have to do the other side. So in yoga, we always want to do what we do on one side of the body. We have to do it again on the other side of the body. So come back down all fours. Make sure your fingers are nice and snappy. And then try to remember which hand went forward before. Do the other one this time. Like you're trying to shake someone's hand way far away. This arm is going to get strong like a pillar, and then the other leg goes back behind you. Does that hurt your shoulder, Kyle? No? Okay, good. So then you round in. You get really small and tiny. Don't worry if your elbow doesn't touch your knee. That's okay. You're just trying to get really small at the center and really long when you're stretched out. Do a couple more. This is a good exercise for your tummy. It makes your tummy really strong, your core. All right, come back to your hands and your knee. And now we're going to do downward facing dog pose. So plant your hands, tuck your toes under, and then lift your hips, your bum up towards the sky. And this is the pose where it's like you're riding a bike and you press one foot down and then the other foot down. Try to let your head be really, really heavy. Zach, I know that you are a bowler, so you know what a bowling ball looks like and feels like. Imagine your head is a bowling ball and it's super heavy on the end of your spine. This is the 7th way to move the spine. So we did 6 when we were sitting down. This is the 7th way. It's called axial extension of the spine, where you have traction of the head, the weight of the head, pulling on your spine. And this is a really good pose to do because our spines don't go in this shape very often. Usually we're walking, standing up, laying down, but this is a really good way to decompress our spines. Good work. Okay, tippy-toe your feet like you're trying to walk really quietly into the kitchen to get a snack without your mom noticing. All right, when your hands get closer to your feet, I want you to bend your knees a lot, so much that you might feel your tummy come to your legs. And then take your hands back behind you. Could you weave them together? Make a little fist back there. Drop your head again and then lift your arms away from your spine. Are you doing it, Kyle? Bend your knees lots and lots in this pose. This is a good pose for the front of your chest. So if you were gardening yesterday, you might have sore shoulders. This is a good pose for your shoulders. Good work. Okay, let go of your hands and slide them up the fronts of your legs. These are your shins. And then try to pull your spine, your head, all the way away from your body, nice and long here. So I'm pushing my hands into my shins to lengthen my spine. Good. And then come all the way up to stand. Oh, Kyle has to go blow his nose. Okay. So last time we did yoga on last Friday, I think we did Warrior 1 pose. Pretty sure we did that. Today we're going to do Warrior 2 pose, which is a little bit different. So let's just remember what Warrior 1 is, and then we'll learn Warrior 2 today. So Warrior 1, let's do that one. Take your favorite foot, step it back. Once your foot is back, bend into your front knee, and then take your arms over top of your head like a mighty strong warrior. So I'm trying to sink down into my legs, but at the same time, I'm trying to stretch up towards the sky. Warrior 1. Okay, I think I'm going to give you a trick pose today, Zach. I think you're ready. From Warrior 1, we're going to actually go all the way to Warrior 3. Could you lift your back foot and fly here? You might have to hold on to the couch or maybe to your mom or maybe to the wall or a chair underneath you. But this is a flying pose, kind of like Superman. Look straight down with your eyes. I'm going to count us down from 5, 4. Are you still balancing? 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Drop your foot gently and then bring your hands to the center of the chest. Step your back foot forward to meet your front foot and march out your legs. Okay, let's do that all again on the other side. So your opposite foot's going to step back. Foot's going to push down into the floor. My front knee's going to bend. I'm going to reach my hands up. Well, this is going to be interesting because now Kyle's here, so maybe I can use him to balance. We'll see how steady we are. So Warrior 1, everything stays just like this, but you lift your back heel and you lift your leg to fly into Warrior 3. Maybe you help your neighbor. Help your neighbor, help your friend. Are you still doing it? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Like a ninja, don't make a sound. Drop your back foot nice and quiet. And then hands come to the center of the chest. Quietly step forward. So in yoga, we try not to move very much of the air or the atmosphere around us. We want to be really quiet like ninjas. Okay, so that was Warrior 1 and Warrior 3. Now we have to do Warrior 2. I think it's my favorite of the warriors. One foot stays forward, and then the other foot's going to step back. But notice my back foot is sideways. Last time we had toes facing the same direction, but my front toes are facing the front edge of my mat, and my back toes are facing the side or the long edge of my mat. Now we're going to bend into this front knee. So this is really good to open up your hips. And I actually think you have really open hips, Zach, so I'm curious to know if you like this pose. You can let me know later next time we chat. Okay, now we add the arms. So you have to make your arms really strong. Like somebody could even balance like a little teacup or something on your arm and it wouldn't fall off. Can you sink lower into your front knee? Good. Now we're going to do what's called exalted warrior. So this back hand is going to fall like a waterfall down the back of your leg, and this front hand is going to flip up towards the sky, and then you look up. I love this pose. Notice that it's that same movement of the spine that we did from seated, where we found that side bend. Woo-wee. Okay, let's change it up a little bit. We're going to stretch both sides of our body, of our waist. Take this arm and mount it onto your leg. And then reach over top of your head, like you're trying to tickle the ceiling or tickle Kyle's tummy. Okay, come back to Warrior 2. And then could you pivot your front foot so it's facing the same direction as your back foot? So now notice that you're facing the long edge of your mat. Wide like a star. We're going to do a hop, okay? Sharp like a pencil. Wide like a star. Sharp like a pencil. One more. Wide like a star. Sharp like a pencil. Hands together to your chest. Turn and face the short edge of your mat. Bow to your partner. Nice. All right. I'm going to turn around, but you just stay like you were. Other leg is going to go back into Warrior 2. I used to have a yoga mat long time ago that had a line that went all the way from the front of the mat to the back of the mat, and you could line up your feet so you knew where to put your feet in Warrior 2. So your front heel would draw a line all the way to your back heel. Front knee bends, okay? This back leg is strong. Arms out. And then we actually look over the front arm in this pose. So your chin comes towards your shoulder. And every single yoga pose has a place that we look with our eyes. And in this pose, it's right over the top of your hand. So look right over top of your fingertips. Steady your eyes. Okay, let's do the exalted warrior. Back hand falls like water down the back of your leg. This palm turns and lifts. Keep pressing into your feet. Keep bending your front knee. And then this arm is going to come to rest on your leg as you take this arm over top. Stretch through your waist, your ribs, your hip. Nice. Come, wave to Kyle. Hey. Come back to Warrior 2. And then one more time, pivot your foot. So now both toes are facing the long edge. Take your hands over top of your head. This time we're doing something different. It's like somebody's going to chop you right in half at your waist, and you're going to forward fold all the way down to the floor. This might be, a good place to take something to touch your hands down onto, like a cushion or a box. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and then let your head drip right off the end of your spine. Shake your head, yes. Shake your head, no. Come up just halfway so that you make this little table shape with your back. Keep one hand on the floor and then take your other hand to the sky. Another way to twist the spine. You're doing so good, Zach. Other hand, switch, put it down, reach up, open up your chest, your shoulders. All right. Okay, hop your feet together. And then I'll meet you sitting on your bum. You hanging in there? Woohoo! Okay, go ahead and lay down on your back. All right. Bend your knees like you're stepping on the floor, feet are flat. And then take your hands right beside you, palms down like you're trying to high-five the mat. Tuck your chin in a little bit. Now use your feet and use your hands to lift your hips, your bum, up like a bridge. Lift up. And then like a drawbridge, lower down. Boats can't go yet. Okay, we're going to let the boats through. Lift up your hips. And then lower your hips down. Keep doing this. This is called Wavy Bridge pose. Lift up. This makes the muscles on the back side of your body, the part of us that we don't see as well because our eyes aren't back there, nice and strong. You have muscles in your bum called your glutes. This makes your glutes really strong. And your hamstrings, which live on the backs of your legs. Do 3 more. This is a really important pose for spine health. Keep your spine nice and strong and limber. Okay, and then we'll lower the bridge down. We'll keep it there. Now, some of you might take the bottoms of your feet together. But if that's too much on your hips, then you might take your feet out wide and let your knees like a tent come in together. One hand goes on your belly, one hand goes on your heart. Close down your eyes. I'm going to give you a challenge. I want to see if you can breathe through just your nose. So gently seal your mouth. And then take a breath all the way up through the nose to the top of the elevator, top floor. Let the people get out. And then take it all the way down. Breath comes out the nose. Do that 2 more times. This is the yoga way to breathe. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Let's do 1 more. Good. Open up your eyes. And then take your hands, palms down beside you again. Take 1 foot and cross it over top of your other leg. This is called figure 4 because it's like our legs look like an upside down 4. Now imagine that you have your foot connected to your leg with glue, so it's not going to come apart. And you're going to pick up your foot off the floor. Now put your hands through the hole. Hold on to the back of your leg. Good. Oh, somebody's alarm's going off. I think it's mine actually. Is it? It's time for Kyle to wake up. Okay, that foot goes down. Now it's raining a lot here today in Cochrane, so we've been using our windshield wipers a lot. Imagine that your knees, your shins, are windshield wipers, and you're cleaning all the water off the window, side to side. Swish, swish. Okay, come back up to the center. And then figure 4 pose on the other leg. Imagine you have glue on your ankle and it's going to connect to your leg. It's not going to come off. And you're going to pick up this foot. Put your hand through the hole. Find it on the other side. This is a hip opening pose. I have a hunch that you're good at this pose too, Zach. 'Cause you have super open hips, which is a good thing. We have tight hips. All right, foot down. Release this foot down. One more time. Swish your knees side to side. Okay, this last pose that we're going to do is kind of a funny pose. It might seem a bit silly, but it's one of the most important yoga poses of all the poses that we could do. And it's called legs in the sky pose. So you might need a cushion underneath this part of your back. Okay, we'll see. We'll just try doing it, and then we'll see if we need to make any adjustments. You're going to take your hands beside you. And then you're going to take one foot, one leg up, and then the other one, like you're stepping on clouds or the ceiling. And this is the pose. So there's two poses that are called the king and the queen of all the yoga poses. The king of all the poses is the headstand. And the queen of all the poses is this one. And the reason why this is such a good pose is because inside our bodies where our blood is, all the blood from our legs goes down, down, down into the vital organs of the body, like the heart, even the brain. You can let your feet relax. You can let your legs relax. Now here comes a funny part. See if you can take your arms up like you're a zombie arms. So your wrists are heavy, your fingertips are drooping towards the floor. And now the blood from your arms also goes down, down, down into all of your organs. And your heart doesn't have to work as hard to pump all the blood through your body. It's like your heart got to go on a little vacation. Kyle's heart says thank you. Now the way we know that this pose is finished is sometimes we can get like a little tingly feeling, pins and needles in the fingers and in the toes. And that would be a sign that it's time to take your feet and hands down. But if you can stay for just a few more moments, your body will really like this. Sometimes I call this sleepwalking arms. Take a couple more deep breaths here. So remember at the beginning of the class where we did those spinal movements? And I was saying anytime you can take just 5 minutes in your day to do those movements, that's a really awesome thing to do. And same as this pose. It's kind of a funny one to do. But anytime you have 5 minutes to spare, put your feet in the air. Helps circulation. All right, let's move one foot down like you're a robot, and then one arm down till everything is touching the floor. And then we'll take 1 minute of the break pose, okay? It's called Shavasana. It's where the body turns into a corpse, like you're a dead body. Feet come to the outer edges of your mat. Lift your shoulders up so that you can turn your palms open. And in this pose, our eyes are closed. Let's do one last thing together. Take a full breath in through your nose. And then let the air come out your mouth. And then we'll stay in this shape for about 1 whole minute. And then I'll come back, I'll talk to you again, and then we'll end the class together. So enjoy this break. Zach, are you still there? You are? Okay, perfect. Bend your knees. Roll to one side. Push yourself up with your top hand. And then let's end the same way that we began with legs crossed. Take your hands together to prayer hands to touch the center of your heart. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. So on your next inhale breath, expand your chest, pride in the heart. And on your exhale breath, humbly tuck your chin, bow your head. Okay, Zach, this is all you. This is the part where you turn the camera off with your heat vision with your eyes. Okay? So you have to take off your glasses, get your eyes ready, stare straight into the screen. So thank you, Zach, for practicing yoga. Namaste. Turn off the camera.